So I'm going to tell you a little story about a mythical creature called a unicorn. This bag is the unicorn, and it's long been my unicorn. And now it's here, so, well, let's get into it. So I just want to start off by saying that this is not a review at all. I've only had this bag for a really short time, and I've been babying it. I've been scared, truth be told. It's kind of one of those things where, you know, you get something and it needs to get its first scratch before you really love it properly. I don't know, something like this. It's kind of like that for me, but I'm going to tell you a story today. And as I tell you the story, you'll see why I like this bag so much. The story begins with this. This is the Kletterwerks Summit 20-liter backpack. This is where my bag nerd story begins. Basically, you know, I've always liked backpacks. I've liked backpacks in general, but I was not always the type of person to buy a very expensive backpack, or if it was a very expensive backpack, it was probably a camera bag. There came a point in time where that transitioned into bag nerdium, which is where I am now, obviously, since you're here and, well, you know, all that kind of stuff. This is the bag that did it for me. Like, quite literally, this exact bag. So, now you're gonna say it's multicam. Of course it's multicam. I can see that too. I live in Asia where this type of thing is quite literally just a fashion statement. I should also note I have a red one and a black one and a gray one and a coyote brown one. And my wife has this exact color that she wears all the time. And she has a red one too. So let's just say we like this bag in my family. This is the Kletterwerks Summit, as I mentioned, and this is a mystery ranch product. They don't make them anymore. It's something that happened for a couple of years and went away. I bought this bag on a whim after watching a video that just happened to show up in my YouTube channel by a guy named Chase Reeves. He was talking about business papers and things like that. I really thought I was watching a video about how magnets work, and he just never told me how they work. But I digress. What I did find out was that this bag kind of appealed to me, and as somebody who enjoyed backpacks, I decided to buy one. And then this is a bag that really introduced me to the idea of bag nerdia, of bag nerd. It looks very simple, and it is very simple, but it's just so well thought out. It's got so many beautiful things about it. It's got this metal hardware, these very nice straps that are kind of like GORUCK straps, if you know what that feels like. It has like this chunky number 10 USA made YKK zippers. It's got like a very nice like divided pocket here. Like that zipper is just like unreal. I don't know. It's like if you're the type of person that like is just, you know, you want to be in bag nerdia, this is where you want to be, really. Made in the USA. It's got a laptop sleeve. It's got these very cool pockets that fit on the side here where you can put pouches or something like that. It's just an absolutely beautiful bag. This multicam version is like kind of a coated 1000D multicam that feels really nice. Anyway, it kind of started with this bag. When you start seeing things like number 10 YKK zippers that are USA made, and how I still remember the feeling, that feeling the first time. It just felt so good, and then that's kind of where everything sort of began. That brought me to a rabbit hole of Mystery Ranch products, and I've owned a ton of them. The thing is, well, let me get back the other guy. Okay, so like, where do I start? I had an Urban Assault 21, I had an Urban Assault 24, I had an ASAP, I had a 3-day assault pack, I had a Komodo Dragon for a short time, an OG one, long story. So I had a lot of these, the Y-zip design, the cadaver as it were. Every single one of those bags annoyed me in some way. It didn't have X, Y, or Z. For example, It didn't have a pocket on the side, like the UA21 didn't have a pocket on the side where I could put my keys. The UA24 didn't stand up. Drove me crazy. The ASAP didn't have enough organization, especially similar issue on the sides. The One Day Assault, which I didn't mention earlier, similar deal, nothing on the sides. The 3DAP, the 3-Day Assault, was just a little bit too intense looking for daily life or daily carry. It just had too many straps, too much going on, even though it had the pocket on the side. Beautifully made bag, by the way. The Komodo Dragon was huge, that's a whole nother thing, but basically how it goes is, when I saw this bag announced, it ticked every single one of those things off that I was worried about with the other Mystery Ranch bags. It did all of the things that those bags didn't do. For example, the UA21 didn't have any access on the side for where my keys would go. So basically what I like to do is I like to sling my bag over my shoulder, get my keys out, open the door, open the car, as it were. In order to do that with the Urban Assault, I'd have to get into this top pocket because that's where the top pocket, or that's where the quick access is. This bag, I can swing the bag, go in here, and my keys are, I mean, I'm making a mockery. My keys are down in there. I mean, actually, what I tend to do, I don't know why they're there, I tend to just put them like out on this thing here. So that's one done. Urban Assault 24 has pockets on the side, place where I could put my keys. That thing wouldn't stand up if you literally stapled it to the ground. Like, I'm telling you, it was a nightmare. I had an easier time literally trying to do a headstand than I did trying to get that thing to stand up. This bag, on the other hand, it just stands up. Oh, this is a good time to talk about this patch. This is from my boy David, and this patch is Gotenks from Dragon Ball Z. It's a very cool patch that he just released. I'll have David's information in the description below. If you want to pick up this patch, he makes all kinds of cool patches like anime, old school gaming, all that kind of stuff. I love his patches, that's why they usually live here. Big patch panel on the top of this guy. And yeah, Dragon Ball Z, if you're a fan of that, he's making a little latte there, which I appreciate. I'll give you a little close up so you can see what's going on. Very nice. Anyway, back to the story. So it stands up like this. Now, since we're on the top, I'm going to talk about one more thing. So another thing that both of those bags I just mentioned didn't have were nice grab handles. This bag has a lovely grab handle here. It is very, very nice. I mean, it's just a couple of pieces of nylon like sewn upon itself, but it just feels great in use, and it's a big upgrade over just the single piece of nylon on those bags. So that takes me to how I felt about the 3-Day Assault, because basically the ASAP and the 1-Day Assault had similar issues to the other previous two. The 3-Day Assault looked a bit intense, and this bag does not really look intense. My wife even said I'm allowed to wear this when I'm walking around with her. It is, of course it is an intense bag. It has like an intense system back here. But all in all, it kind of has a pretty understated sort of look. And it's like EDCE, if that makes sense. That was another big selling point of this bag. Now, I really tried to get this bag on launch and the website crashed. I was one of those unlucky people. Luckily for me, eventually, I met a guy who, well, he let me buy it, and here she is. I call her Anne. I'm not gonna tell you why. I'll give you a chance to figure it out. Let you stew on that one for a bit. So I'm just gonna go over the bag like super quick, what I think about it so far, and you know, some of the features, and then that's really it. I'm gonna do a review on this bag in the future, but just not right now. So the bag, obviously, it's this X-Pack material, and then the sides here are 500D Cordura. The bottom is also 500D Cordura. I think the reason they did that is just because the X-Pack can be a little bit like, can I say, pokey. Also, it gives it a bit of like a contrast in look. This bag is kind of modeled after the Beams Assault, which also had a contrasty look. I'm really glad they didn't go those colorways with this, but you know. The zipper pulls are really nice. So normally like the zipper pulls on Mystery Ranch bags are like looped around something. I mean, these are actually like kind of GORUCK style with the shrink wrap. And basically these two pockets are kind of the same. There's a little bit of difference in the organization. There's some pen loops on this side there, you know, but otherwise this one is just like one deep pocket. I think technically speaking, you're supposed to put like your water bottle in here. I put my sunglasses in this side, and on this side, like I showed you earlier, I have my keys, and then I put my wallet in this pocket here, and that's really it. I mean, I don't really do a whole lot of other things with these side pockets, but I will say that this makes such a big difference in use. I can almost like live out of just this part of the bag. Now, that's one issue I've noticed with this bag. It's not really an issue. It's just that it has so much organization that I kind of struggle a little bit with filling it up. Like I see like these pockets and I have nothing to put in both of them kind of thing. I'm gonna leave it filleted so you can see a little bit better about what's going on now. They built the bags with this Y design so you can kind of like stick your finger in here and give it a little bit of a pull. But before we get to that, I will just show you the top part here. What's up, Go Tanks? So this top flap pocket is very similar to like the One Day Assault and the ASAP. It has a pocket here that you can access under here, which I have my hand sanitizer in. Very nice zipper. Looks like a number 8 YKK, I think number 10 on the outside, and then number 8's everywhere else. And it has like a mesh, very nice feeling mesh here that feels similar to all Mystery Ranch mesh. I put my mask in there. And that's really it. I mean, my Leica sits in there sometimes. It's big enough for my camera if I really need. I really like that they have these Hypalon pull thingies that you can hold onto and grab. I heard of people like, okay, so I heard somebody say to me, like, why don't you black this out? Like, Mystery Ranch is not about orange. Mystery Ranch is very much about orange. And my bag nerds will know what I'm talking about. But now, let's just get into the bag. I don't have too much time. So, the zipper is very smooth. The inside of the bag is very similar to other Mystery Ranch bags that you probably have seen and the other ones I mentioned earlier. So, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. It's basically these bags fillet open like so. And there are these mesh pockets on the side. Now they're very nice actually. The mesh feels great, as I mentioned. I don't use them at the moment for anything, although I did use them on the other bags. What I like about these is that if I don't use them, I don't really notice. Maybe it's just where they are, how they sit. There's a laptop compartment back here that I have my Nejulo sleeve in with my laptop in it. It's perfectly fine. It's a laptop compartment. This part kind of reminds me of like the Bellroy Apex in a lot of ways. I feel like this bag is kind of like an intense version of the Bellroy Apex, I guess. The Apex is a little bit more chill, but you know, I like that because if you'll know, I'm a big fan of the Bellroy Apex. I have my GORUCK wire Dopp in here that sits in there most of the time. And then I have a bag with some clothes in it. This is a Brown Buffalo kind of sack thingy. I put my clothes in there for work. And then I have my camera in this Evergoods CAP pouch. There's no padding on the bottom of the bag, and that is the one thing I wish this bag had, was a little bit of padding on the bottom. But it's not a deal breaker for me, for sure. There's some like PALS webbing here that I have never thought about how I might use. It's just kind of there. I'm sure I could stick a carabiner or something on it, but I have not thought to do that. So I'm gonna pack this back up just because that's really it. I mean, I really like the way the orange looks here. I mean, like on first impressions, I would say that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this bag is the way that orange looks. When I do a review of this bag, I'm going to talk a little bit about how, you know, you can travel with it. I find that the way these bags pack out to be basically as good as a clamshell bag. I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but for me, because I use cameras or a packing cube, the packing cube or the camera can go here, and then you pack out the rest kind of in like a clamshell style. These pockets are very useful when you're packing a lot of stuff in this bag, because then these pockets become really tight because the space is shared. So I find like, I think think if I traveled with this bag, what I would probably do is stuff it from here down with packing cubes and the like, and then I would use these to organize some stuff on the top and my laptop and all that kind of stuff. So what is good about this bag is it gives you options, like a lot of options, which, I mean, obviously options are never bad because, well, I mean, options are just never bad. I think that this is probably one of the best bags I own, maybe this along with the GORUCK GR2 26 liter, of bags that can do literally everything you want them to do. They could travel, I could travel with this bag for sure. I could definitely EDC this bag. I could go hiking with this bag. I mean, I don't hike, but you get the point. I could do almost anything with this bag and it would be perfectly fine. Now, the last little bit of information about this guy is the harness system. This harness system is obviously amazing. This is probably the most comfortable bag I've ever tried on in my life, like bar none. Like, it is literally so unbelievably comfortable. It is just, I mean, Mystery Ranch bags are always very comfortable for me, and this is the most comfortable of them that I own. I say that even more than the 3DAP, although they are very similar. So basically, like, when I do a review, I'll talk about it, but this is an adjustable yoke system. You can go up and down a little bit. I have it at the lowest setting because I'm short, but you can like break the, there's like a, what do you call that? There's like a Velcro thing that holds this in place. You can break it with this, with the frame sheet and blah, 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 and you end up with, well, you end up with that. There is a belt thing here, like a waist belt thing. It's interesting that they use like a trake style, like metal thing here, which is cool, I suppose. Now it is very like pro style hip belt that you pull from the sides here to tighten it, which is very cool. They pleated it here so that it would fold and go under this lumbar support. I mean, a lot of people complained about this in the beginning. For me, I find it tucks away nicely and I just don't even notice it's there. So there's not really any reason for me to complain about it. I will say, for those of you who struggle with tucking it in, just like don't pleat it all the way. Just kind of pull it across like this, and that usually helps out a little bit with that. So anyway, I mean, there's not a whole lot else I can talk about this bag. All I wanted to do is do a really quick video to tell you how much I enjoyed it. I absolutely love it so far. I would say of all of the Carryology collaborations, I've touched at least all of them, aside from the sling thing, the, what is that called, the con thing, and probably some of the older ones, but from the trake one on, I've at least touched all of them. Or, you know what I'm saying. You know, I like to touch a bag here and there. What? I like to what? Let's just say, like, I've been around them, and for my money, this is the one that is like the one to have, if that makes sense. Obviously, like, the new Stealth Cobra is really nice, the GORUCK one's really nice, but for me, the one to have is this one. And that's why I have it. Right? Anyway, for now, that's it for this bag. Thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciated it. Of course, I didn't talk about everything. It's not the point. It's just supposed to be a first look, and it's already 21 minutes, so, well, that's a long first look. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Much love, guys. Talk soon. Bye-bye.